Hey, welcome to Integrated Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. You remember back before Rush passed away that he said, don't worry, when it's time, I'll tell you. Well, since Rush isn't with us anymore, I'll do it, and I'll tell you it is time. A couple of things before I get into this. First off, welcome to all the new people, of course. But first off, I see a little spot here, and that's barbecue sauce. I figured that you all wouldn't mind. I just didn't change my shirt to make this. I just got done eating some delicious barbecue that Kelly made, and I'm sitting here having a buffalo sweat stout. Look at that. There we go. Excuse me. So forgive the barbecue sauce stain. Just figure that you've been sitting here eating dinner with me, right? I do occasionally drip on myself. Uh, Welcome to all the new people. Had a lot of new people joining lately, and welcome to everyone who's over there with us. A lot of new folks over on Patreon. I'll put one up today about lessons from undercover. I was undercover for a long time. A lot of lessons there that can be very applicable in the coming times. I'm going to share a lot of it today. I'm going to share a lot more because the time has come to do so. Um, you know, a lot of people have asked me over the preceding months, year, couple of years, whatever. Well, when is it going to be time to do something? When's the talking? I'm tired of talking. When's it time to stand up and do something? Well, okay, time is now. The time has come. I've always said, hold up, wait until the right time, because when you try to do something before it's time, and that was one of the lessons in undercover. And when you try to do something before it's time to do it, it doesn't work out well. You're not ready, and when you're not ready to take a plan through fruition, it's going to cause problems. First, it's not going to work, and then it's going to have the potential to get you in a sling, and that's not what we want. We saw that with January 6th and a couple of other things. We can't let hot-headedness, we can't let emotion drive us, because emotion is the author of confusion and failure. Gosh, I hope somebody wrote that down because I just made it up. It sounded good, didn't it? It's time. Why? Because the pushback that I said was coming has come. It's still time to talk, but it's time to do a lot more. But it's not time to go that full bore like some of the people seem to think that it was. No, no, no. We can win this a different way. The best solution is always a business and a political solution. It's a solution with money. If we get on this thing now, we're going to be able to pull this out. Now, if we do it wrong, if we're not organized, if we don't do it right, if we get too hot-headed, it's not going to work. But if we do it right, it's going to work. So I've said that there was going to be a pushback. Everybody's been wondering, when's the pushback going to be? Well, if you wait long enough, usually your enemy, if they're stupid enough or overconfident, they will make a misstep, and they have. I said over on Patreon today that don't mistake these people for being stupid. They're not. They may have a figurehead moron who's stupid, but the ones behind them aren't. They have an agenda that they've been working on for almost 100 years, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. Not enough for us to get all up in arms over the little things, but finally all of them have come together and made a big thing that is worth now going back on, pushing back. So we've seen, as a result of all these mandates, that people are starting to wake up, and they're starting to get upset. And they're starting to get, I got a phone call coming in. Okay, I'll call you back, buddy, in a few minutes. Okay. One of my group. My group is getting very, very active politically, okay? But my group is very politically attuned. So anyway, they finally overstepped because of their overconfidence, and they started pushing these mandates. Now, they've had help from the corporations around, and they've had help from all the weaklings who see, and of course they've been funneling this money out, to get all these different companies and hospital systems and corporations to to require their employees to do a certain thing in order to keep their job. Well, they thought that everybody would, and guess what? There's a whole lot that aren't. I'm going to tell you something now that I've never mentioned before, and it's the source of a lot of my information. I do have inside information. Excuse me. That's our nightly street guy. What I've never mentioned before is for almost the last 13 years, I have worked at a major hospital system. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. But my job puts me in daily contact with all of them, and I have a lot of good contacts. I have very good relationships, very tight relationships with a lot of people in the key areas of that system. And I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to start talking about that probably in the next one I'm going to make about how the healthcare system is about to implode. Now, I'm leaving that job. I mentioned this the other day, kind of obliquely, but I've been there, like I said, for almost 13 years. It's been a good gig, even though I kind of considered it my side hustle. I said that it's going to cost me. I know a lot of people are in this bag. A lot of people have lost a lot. They're losing their jobs, and I respect the ones who are standing up and saying, I'm leaving, regardless that you're trying to hold me hostage with my job and a lot of money. Now, I'm not going to say this to be boo-hooing, but just to let you know that I've got a dog in this fight. I'm giving up about $80,000 myself a year because I'm leaving. They said I have to get that, you know what, by October 30th. I said, ain't gonna happen. No way. You can take it, and you know what you can do with it. So I'm taking some PTO here, probably starting in the middle of October. So I'm only going to be there a few more weeks, and by the end of October, I am gone. Kelly also has a kind of a part-time gig there, and that's going to add about $20,000 to us. So as a family here, we're going to be giving up $100,000 a year, because we're not going along with their idiocy, with their foolishness. They think that they can hold this over everyone's heads. Well, we're not the only ones. There are more people at these within this hospital system. You can't believe how many people are going to walk and are already letting people know they're going to walk. Now, I'm going to save what's going to happen. There are some big demonstrations coming up on the 18th. I think it's nationwide. I'm not sure. They've been very nice. The clinical people, the doctors and lawyers, have been very nice and included me within their groups of information, and so I'm able to see all of the information that's coming out regarding this, even though I'm kind of an outsider to them. But so that's why I kind of know what's going on. Probably tomorrow I'm going to make another one about what's going to happen to the hospitals, and it's not pretty. But on this one, this is the time that we've been waiting for. These morons who think that they are our overlords instead of our employees have finally taken it too far. This is the time that we push back, and we push back on everything. Have you heard the chants that are going around at all the stadiums, saying something about our president? Have you heard that? Okay, you haven't heard that for a while, have you? Excuse me, Buffalo Sweat. And everywhere we go, now I don't know how it is where you are. I imagine it's the same thing. Put it down here if you would. Leave in the comments what your experiences are, who you've talked to, and what's the feeling there. Especially you all who are working for organizations who are going to require you to do this. Okay, whether you're in hospitals, whether you're first responders, fire departments, police departments, if you're in the military, I know that's being required. The unbelievable things that are coming out as orders from our executive branch violate everything our country was built on. We don't have protection in the Supreme Court because we essentially have no Supreme Court. They're a bunch of wishy-washy fools. So we can't rely on that. But what we can rely on are the American people, at least that segment of the American people who is not totally communist yet and have the energy and the chutzpah and the cojones to stand up and say, this is it, and once we get to rolling, we're not going to stop. Now, that's got to be the way it goes, okay? It can't be like one of these, we push back, and then, okay, they give in, and then we think that we've won. That's not what can happen right now. Now, they could change where I work. They could change and say, you know what, gosh, we're losing so many. They won't say that, but they'll say, we looked at it, we decided that we're not going to require that, so all of you people can come back now. No, we're not going back, and neither are a lot of the people that I've talked to. There's too many things out there. There is an America to reclaim. Okay, it has almost disappeared, but I am so glad to be rid of this thing. Yeah, it was very lucrative, it was, but there are too many things out there, and I am looking forward to getting back and becoming a part of the, well, I've always been a part of the real America, but what I mean is not being involved in the system at all. It was the one time in I don't know how many years that I actually had a job somewhere that it wasn't my own business, and I still kept my own businesses while I was there. But this is where a lot of people are going. They're leaving these places and they're understanding that by reclaiming their own lives and reclaiming that individualism that's so important to the American dream and the American spirit, they're going to be adding to this movement and this reset back and this pushback against this tyrannical, idiotic, communistic segment of our society. Okay? And when we get to pushing back, we have to keep going until we steamroll that idiocy to death. Now, I don't mean any physical violence to anybody, but we got to bury it. This is the thing we've been waiting for. When people asked me what we were waiting for, I wasn't sure. I didn't really see this coming until, I guess in the last year or so. But this is what we've been waiting for. This is our opportunity. We need to jump on it now. You need to jump on it with everything you've got. You need to try to get everybody you know to jump on it. Explain it to them. Explain the importance of this time. If we don't do it this time, there's no telling how long it will be before there's another time. Okay, so this is it. Watch what's going to happen. Please let us know. Let each other know down in the comments. What's going on where you are. Where do you work? Are you being laid off? What are you going to do about it? I've already gotten so many comments and some emails too from people saying, I'm not doing it. I'm not going along with it. They can stick it. And man, that's what made this country great anyway. So let's see, are we still going up there? Yeah, I guess we are. I thought we'd lost battery or something. Anyway, that's all I need to say. I'm going to come back tomorrow because there is a medical Armageddon coming, and I'm going to tell you about it. And I know what I'm talking about. I know what's going to happen, and it isn't going to be pretty. So get ready. Prepare more than you even have before, and especially prepare for your medical needs. Okay, I'm going to talk about that more tomorrow. I'll let you go now. Join us over on Patreon. There's a lot more information I'm going to be putting up over there as we really get into the serious times. Everything now has been about talking, and now we have a chance to respond in ways that matter and can have a difference, and that's what we're going to do. So you all remember, we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. We've been preparing. We continue to prepare because we are determined to live well tomorrow, regardless of what this tyrannical machine thinks they're going to do to us. You all have a good night, and I hope you've got something as good as my buffalo sweat, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.